We're going to go ahead and do roll call. Sherelle, can you assist us with roll call, please?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Law and Order Committee members and everyone listening in on the call. Roll call for the Law and Order Committee of the 24th Navajo Nation Council special meeting via teleconference, Monday, October 4th, 2021, 10 o'clock a.m. Honorable Madam Chair Eugenia Charles Newton.
I'm present.
Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton is present. Honorable Otto So.
I am present.
Honorable Otto So is present. Honorable Vince James. Honorable Eugene So.
Oh, Concetta.
Honorable Eugene So is present. Honorable Edmund Yazi. Honorable Vince James. Honorable Edmund Yazi. Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton, you have 3 members present, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, for that, Sherelle. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move forward at this time to invocation. I'm going to go ahead and ask Honorable Vice Chair Otto So, can you lead us in invocation this morning?
Yes, definitely we can. I can go ahead and provide invocation this morning. And okay. Distingue com Dios Caribe Nig is Ado Nzisbitago Shantin Lini, that is Lado Nzisbikage Shantin Lini ho. And that it la ho Nilke not Nilke Do Nilke Ajebe Ego. Begiwish Ado Ak Holjish Ado Ade Be Ishing Con Kao Nti Kao Intis Kao Cargo Kao Andaho Nil Egabik Edawish Do Babenach He Indwenet Dana Dil Dana Diljish Okodo ina kini zombin ye hodo this lorly no sani hima johna in hita. Kwanza ho jishli di khahibi ade ego. Ashin tsago khabiji dahwejish khabiji dahwejish do tanche. Nilsan lini kondiat ehoko. Be niki gentlio ho jido tandon lish. Hashin so they get that the yadon the adin Kale Yabenest a yadanist ado that is changing which yadan nido Hado chon ego Babenach yad ehoko that nist is Kage Babenach di chill any Babenach hits is with Kata but Zido Lipeniga. Ni K non hit yard ni hits is ni J ni hin ni hintakis. Yad ehoni kahli dit lipi. Bebina chana ni leoni dado li nazani hima. Adon da kodo. Yad ehon ko atlani tinit ego ko. Yad ehon ki kon lodo li. Adon ni kiden idon ha halia. Adon da shint da yilzi anit Da shint sabo hashin sabo. Alkilt nakhan da titlik alo daba oho. Ako Babin Nash Dishing Nilton, wait and Nitlin, Yajid and Nitlin. Babin Nash, Hawad Nahas you don't the Hajin has an Hachin don the con, Tiny Nani don the Ade, Ned Yode Nini, he the Halodo, the Haj Ajbik didn't eat or little, the Ha Ajah Papa Ishan Instant only. a coco a babin nacha a yako yat ehoni dabin yena san hima. David how this string gets on a lake a hojon need lean on it na san hima. The Jojon only, Kede Jojon only. Ojana sleep, Ojana sleep, Ojana sleep, Ojana sleep. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Go on mute.
Thank you for that, Vice Chair, for that prayer, for remembering everyone here on the Navajo Nation, our families, our people here. So, so with that, we'll go ahead and move to item number 2, recognizing guests and visiting officials. We do have Honorable Vice Chair Otto So, Honorable Eugene So, and myself on the line. Honorable Vince James, have you joined us? Honorable Edmund Yazi, have you joined us? Not hearing anything, I'd like to ask, do we have any other delegates who are currently on the line? Do we have anybody from the judicial branch on the line?
Madam Chair, this is Karen Francis.
Good morning, Karen. Do we have anybody from OPVP on the line?
Hello, good morning, Madam Chair. This is Tamara Johnson with the Office of the President, Vice President.
Good morning, Ms. Johnson. Do we have anybody from Department of Justice on the line? Do we have anybody from Department of Division of Public Safety on the line? I know earlier it was announced that Chief of Police was on the line, as well as Captain Yazi from the Chinle District. I hope they're still on the line with us here this morning. Do we have anybody from Speaker's office on the line? Not hearing anything. Do we have anybody from Office of Legislative Services on the line?
Madam Chair, I'm on the line. This is Lorraine Spencer. Good morning.
Good morning, Lorraine. And I think we also have Sherelle. Sherelle, are you with us today?
Yes, good morning, Chair. I'm here.
Okay, with that, do we have anybody from Office of Legislative Counsel on the line?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Law and Order Committee. This is Dana Bobroff, Chief Legislative Counsel.
Good morning, Dana. Thank you for being on the line with us. I'd like to ask, is there anybody that I did not call who is currently on the line with us today? Hello? Number ending in 527.
This is Shirlene, 59527.
Oh, good morning, Shirlene. So is there anybody else who is currently on the line that we have not called? Director Delmar, I see that you.
Madam Chair, good morning, Jesse Delmar.
Good morning, Director Delmar, and thank you for joining us this morning. So with that, we're going to go ahead and proceed forward to item number 3, review and adopt the agenda. Lorraine, can you go ahead and read the agenda into the record for us, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Law and Order Committee and those that are listening on the call. Agenda of the Law and Order Committee, 24th Navajo Nation Council, special meeting through telecommunication, October 4th, 2021, 10 a.m. Presiding Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton, Chairwoman, Honorable Otto So, Vice Chairperson. 1, call meeting to order, roll call invocation. Number 2, recognize guests and visiting officials. Number 3, review and adopt agenda. Number 4, review and adopt the journals. Journal September 27th, 2021 is ready. And going through to receiving reports. 5A, report from Jesse Delmar, Executive Director, DPS Philip B. Francisco, Chief of Police in PD, and Kim Yazzie, Captain Chinley, Police District regarding break-ins and vandalism of the Chinley Solid Waste Station in Chinley, Arizona. 6, old business report from Layer Tree Fire Chief, nomination fire rescue services of fire department's agreement across the nomination. This was table on 9/13/21 and was referred to 9/20/21. The presenter did not get on the call, so it was still on the agenda, and a motion was made to recall the report by Honorable Toso, but no one seconded his motion on 9/20/21. And on 9/20/27, a motion was made to recall the report, but by Honorable Toso, second by Honorable Vince James. The presenter, Mr. Chi, was not available. However, Mr. John Williams, fire captain, was on the call. And the Honorable Toso withdrew his motion and was deferred to the next meeting, which is today. Going to be report from Walton Yazzie, Chapter Manager, Chinley Chapter, regarding continuous break-ins and vandalism of the Chinley Solid Waste Station. Motion was made by Honorable Eugene So, second by Honorable Vince James on 9/27/21. A motion was made by Honorable So, second by Honorable Eugene So, to table the report to 10/4/21 with a vote of 302. A directive was made to Director Delmar, Chief Francisco, and Captain Yazzie to respond on the matter. 70 business legislation number 0201-21. Sponsored by Honorable Paul Begay, or actually, I'm sorry, sponsors are Honorable Carl R. Slater, co-sponsors Honorable Paul Begay and Honorable Toso. B, request to travel to Upper Fruitland Chapter on October 25th, 2021. Meeting request by Lisa Bird, Vice President, Upper Fruitland Chapter, regarding public safety matters. 8, close of meeting announcement and adjournment. Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you for that, Lorraine. So with that, the agenda has been read into the record. Can I get a motion?
Vice Chair, all motion.
Motion made by Vice Chair Otto So. Can I get a second? Second request for a second to adopt the agenda. Last and final request for a second to adopt the agenda. Dana, can you provide us some guidance?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, what would you like guidance on?
Oh, I'm sorry, Dana. We have a motion made by Honorable Otto So to accept the agenda, but we no second. So
Well, if
what
you
options do we have?
if you don't have a second, then you are not going to have an adopted agenda. Do you have a quorum?
Madam Chair,
Honorable Eugene So.
I punched the wrong button, so I'm back on. I'll second that agenda.
Thank you, Dana. Looks like we don't need any assistance. Shaja, thank you for making that second made by Honorable Eugene So. Committee members, are there any questions, any comments, or any amendments that need to be made to the agenda? Not hearing anything, we'll go ahead and proceed forward to the vote to accept the agenda. Sherelle, can you assist us with roll call vote, please?
Okay, Honorable Toso, how do you vote?
I vote green.
Honorable Otto So votes green. Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazzie, how do you vote? Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Oh, sure.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazzie, how do you vote? Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton, you have 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting, which is including Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton not voting, Honorable Vince James not voting, and Honorable Edmund Yazzie not voting, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, Sherelle. So with that, with a vote of 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting, the agenda is hereby accepted with no changes. It is what is posted on the Navajo Nation meeting page. We'll move forward to item number 4, review and adopt the journals. We do have one journal from September 22nd, 2021. Committee members, this journal was sent to us, I believe it was sent to us this morning. If you want to go ahead and look at your mailboxes, it was sent to us at 8:34 a.m. this morning by Sherelle Nota. So with that, committee members, can I get a motion to accept the September 27th, 2021 journal?
Vice Chair, one motion.
Thank you for that, Vice Chair. Can I get a second?
Madam Chair, I'll second, I'll read the question though.
Motion made by Honorable Otto So, second by Honorable Eugene So. Shahzad, did you say you have a question?
In regards of the very key the Bacardi meetings, October 11th, because the journal, I think that one had October today's meeting for on there. The best part of the 11 Bacardi message that would have been come up today for the announcement meetings. Oh yeah, quite yes, that was just my question. I thought the other one had a meeting, the meetings on October 4th for today's meeting. That would have been the last week's journal. Thank you.
Shahzad, I'm so sorry. I don't understand what you're talking about. Can you repeat that? Oh, for the next meeting, should have been October 4th.
That's the journal we're accepting today, not today's meetings announcement at the end. 11, that's for today now, and that's how I understand it. Today, where we announcing is the October 11th Law and Order Committee meeting, but the last one we met on was set October 4th for today's meeting. And yet that would be part of the journal and so on. That's my question.
Oh, Shahzad, yes, you are correct. We did verbally, we did talk about today's meeting as being a special meeting, and that is because we have the council, the fall council session that's happening in a couple of weeks, and by law, the code says that Law and Order Committee is supposed to meet the second, third, and fourth Mondays of every month. And so I explained that, I think it was either last week or it was the week before. Lorraine, can you give Eugene So some information as to why that included in the journal? Lorraine or Sherelle?
Madam Chair, this is Lorraine. Mr. So, we've been October 11th, Pakagi. October 4th, out of Akaya, Pininanigi Ayahi, special meeting for the Amigo Berina. So, the 18th A nomination council session, A now A Connect us in lieu of the October 18th Connect meeting that at 8 today, 8 meeting, special meeting, and yeah, A now, the ka aliada on the journal. We last 2 weeks ago, the last meeting, yeah, Madam Chair, what a special meeting. Mr. So, thank you, Madam Chair.
For that, Lorraine, Honorable Eugene, so does that answer your question?
Trying to look at the journal where we discussed at the special meeting for today. Thank you.
Lorraine, can you explain to Honorable Eugene so why it's not included in the journal?
Madam Chair and LOC members. Sherelle, can you help me out on this? Sherelle, are you there?
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Honorable Madam Chair and LOC members. It wasn't stated on the journal because I just went and included just the main information for motion and second. And I didn't include the October 4th meeting because we didn't have a motion and a second on that one, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, Delegate Otto.
Honorable Otto, so go ahead.
Yes, I on the last meeting, it was, we did talk about that, and yes, I do recall there was no second and there's no motion. But as chair, you went ahead and informed us that you were gonna have the special meeting for October 4th because October 19th is the Navajo Nation Council session. And in lieu of that meeting there, that's where today's meeting comes up from, and I accept your the chair's authority to go ahead and call a special meeting, and that's within the authority of the committee rules. So I think you're in order, and you don't have to reflect that this special meeting don't have to reflect the journals. That's just my observation. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Vice Chair. And yes, I did make the announcement. We didn't vote on it, but I've made previous changes to the agenda based on council sessions that are called in accordance with the law. Honorable Eugene, so are you not wanting to have a meeting today? Is that why you're bringing this up in terms of the journal?
That's not the case. I'm just trying to look for that. So having any time to make it a legitimate meeting if we don't never get done that on the Ilala. So in that case, what I will go with in the special meeting, do we approve journals or just that in the regular meeting? That's another question. Thank you.
I think that today's meeting, there will be a journal entry on today's meeting and it will be marked as a special meeting. But this special meeting, when we did call it, a memo was sent to Speaker. Speaker was the one who approved us having this special meeting in lieu of the meeting that will be happening the first Monday when we meet for fall council. So there will be a journal on today's meeting, Shijak.
Madam Chair?
Honorable Vice Chair Ottoso.
I'm just going to defer this this exception of a journal to the next meeting. You know, that way we're not spending too much time on it. Let's get the ball moving. I'm going to defer it to the next to the next agenda of the Navajo or to the Law and Order Committee. So we're not spending too much time on this. Thank you. That's my motion.
Thank you for that, Vice Chair. So there's a motion to defer this journal entry to the next Law and Order Committee meeting so that we address the issues that are being brought up today. So with that, can I get a second?
Okay, non-stop, amiga.
Okay, second I made by Honorable Eugene So. Are there any questions or comments regarding this motion to defer the September 27, 2021 journal to the next Law and Order Committee meeting?
That's it, Madam Chair. I would like to, maybe question Dana later. Maybe she can write a memo because to the journal improvement with a special meeting or a regular meeting. Either yonder, but I want it in writing. Thank you. To Dana, thank you.
Dana,
Madam Chair,
yeah, go ahead, Dana.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Delegate Eugene. So we can certainly put it in writing until that point in time. Rule 7 of your Standing Committee Rules of Order states that a journal of all committee action shall be maintained by the legislative reporting staff assigned to the committee. The journal shall contain a summary of all committee meetings. So in essence, yes, you will need to eventually adopt or approve the journal for this special meeting. Thank you, but I can put that in writing for you, Delegate. So thank you.
Delegate Eugene So is asking whether we can approve journals in special meetings or whether they have to be just regular meetings.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm sorry I missed that part of the question. There does not appear in your rules to be any restrictions on when you can adopt the agendas or the journals, excuse me, and also in Rule 8, which is your order of agenda business, and it applies to all committee meetings, so that's regular and special meetings, and it's specifically on number 4 on your order of agenda. It does include review and adopt journals. So, but I shall put that in writing for delegates. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, Dana. So with that, we're going to go ahead and proceed forward to the vote. Sherelle, can you assist us with the roll call vote, please?
okay, Honorable Otto So, how do you vote?
I vote green.
Honorable Otto So votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Oh, the case is this. Thank you.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Vince James, how do you vote?
Now, can you just have Norma come up here, please? Just I need to talk to her real quick.
Honorable Edmund Yazzie, how do you vote? Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazzie, how do you vote? Honorable Madam Chair, Charles Newton, you have 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting, which is including Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton not voting, Honorable Vince James not voting, and Honorable Edmund Yazzie not voting, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Sherelle. Can we please make sure that everybody's phone is on mute? We can hear background, noises that are being made, conversations that are going on. And just so you know, I am looking directly at the screen. So when somebody is speaking, your box lights up so I can see who is speaking. So please make sure your phone is on mute. Here at Law and Order Committee, we have a 0 tolerance rule for not muting your phone. That means that if your phone is not muted and you interrupt a report or you interrupt a presentation, Sherelle, I think it's either you or Lorraine, we do give you permission to hang up that person, even if it's a delegate. And if they call back in again, then they do it again. We're going to keep them off the line. So this is your warning that, again, please make sure that your phone is on mute. I see a few phone numbers that are not on mute. So I'm going to call you out right now. Phone number ending in 527, please mute your phone. 052, please mute your phone. We also have 882, make sure your phone is muted. Jesse, Director Delmar, please make sure your phone is muted. Phone number ending in 156, please mute your phone. Honorable Eugene, so make sure your phone is muted. Phone number ending in 173, make sure your phone is muted. Phone number ending in 224, make sure your phone is muted. Phone number ending in 002, make sure your phone is muted. We have also call-in user right now. It doesn't say whose name that is, but make sure call-in user 1 and 2, make sure your phone is muted. And call-in user number 3. Again, if your conversation goes on or if you hear background music or background sounds coming from your phone, we will hang up on you. So with that, we're going to go ahead and proceed forward to the next item on the agenda. And that is we are now moving forward to receiving reports. Committee members, this is a little bit of a confusion that is currently happening. We have under old business, we have the report by Walton Yazzie. He did provide us a report last week, and we felt that it was important for Division of Public Safety to be on the line to hear his report. This is a report again by Walton Yazzie, Chapter Manager for Chinle Chapter, regarding the continuous break-ins and vandalism of the Chinle Solid Waste Station. So although Walton Yazzie's report is listed under item 6B as in boy, we're going to go ahead and hear his report because we cannot get a response from Division of Public Safety, which is listed in item 5A on the agenda, without hearing the concerns being brought forward by Mr. Walton Yazzie. Committee members, are there does anybody object to doing this?
Madam Chair.
Honorable Otto So.
Well, I believe the reason why we put this report on was that Walton Yazzie wanted, we couldn't answer his question at the time from the committee to hear what was the problem, what was the issue. And what I would do is, first of all, I really appreciate Director Delmar being on the line and the Chinle Sergeant 2, Ms. Yazzie, are being on here. And I think it's really proper to have Walton Yazzie on the phone, because if we move forward with the report and get the police department's reasons, and the Chinle chapter is not on the line here, they're not. They're just gonna have to. We're gonna have to bring them back together again. So I would just like to see if we could go ahead and just defer this back to the next committee meeting, because, you know, Mr. Walton Yazzie is aware that this was supposed to happen today. So I'm not too sure why he's not calling in. We have public safety on the line moving forth to provide an answer, but public safety is going to have to hear the concerns from Walton Yazzie, because it's the chapter's property, and that's being talked about. And relating the vandalism and the break-in. And what I would do, Madam Chair, is see if we can call out for Mr. Walton Yazzie 3 times. If he's not on the line, let's defer this back to the next meeting and make sure he's on the line, because they wanted this report and they should be on here. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Vice Chair Otto. So with that, I'm going to ask, is Mr. Walton Yazzie on the line? Second call, Mr. Walton Yazzie with Chinle Chapter, are you on the line? Last and final call, Mr. Walton Yazzie, are you on the line? Okay, not hearing anything. What we'll go ahead and do is Division of Public Safety, we do appreciate you being on the line. We don't have Mr. Walton Yazzie who needs to provide us a report and to let us know what is happening there in the Chilling Chapter. He did give this committee an update or a report last week. However, we felt it was important for Division of Public Safety to hear what was happening and to hear the concerns that were being brought forward by Mr. Walton Yazzie regarding the chapter and the equipment and the facilities that apparently are being vandalized. But Mr. Walton Yazzie is not on the line. So I'm going to go ahead and at this point, I'm going to ask Director Delmar, Chief Francisco, and Captain Yazzie. First, I'm going to apologize and say I am sorry that we don't have Mr. Walton Yazzie on the line. However, I do want to say thank you for being on the line. We're going to go ahead and proceed forward to the next item on the agenda. The Law and Order Committee is going to excuse you at this time, and we'll be calling upon you probably next week to hear the report from Mr. Walton Yazzie. So with that, Director Delmar, Chief Francisco, Captain Yazzie, you are excused.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good day.
Thank you. So with that, we'll move forward to item number 6, old business. We do have a report from Larry Chi, Fire Chief of the Navajo Nation Fire and Rescue Service on the fire department's agreement across the Navajo Nation. Mr. Larry Chi, are you on the line?
Madam Chair, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Mr. Chi, is that you?
Yes, that's me. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Chi, and welcome back to Law and Order Committee. So if you just hold on very quickly, committee members, as you may recall, on September 13th, we did have a report that was tabled by Honorable Vince James. It was seconded by Honorable Eugene So. The report was being provided by Mr. Larry Chi, Fire Chief of the Navajo Nation Fire and Rescue Services on the fire department's agreement across the Navajo Nation. There were some questions that were asked. The request that was made by Law and Order Committee was to have a report, a written report provided to the committee on the questions that were being asked. On September 20th, we did have someone from the fire department who was on the line. However, the Law and Order Committee had requested that Mr. Larry Chi himself provide us the report so that we could put the agenda or put this report back onto the table status. But again, on September 20th, there was not a response. On September 27th, there was a motion to recall the report that was made by, motion was made by Honorable Otto So, second by Honorable Vince James. However, again, Mr. Chi was not available on that day. So because of that, the motion was withdrawn. So that's kind of a history, and it is within the agenda itself. Does the committee at this time, would they like to hear the report from Mr. Larry Chi? But before I ask for a motion, Mr. Chi, did you send us the report?
Yes, ma'am, I did this morning. The only thing that I want to caution is that the internet I'm using is very slow, so I'm not sure if Lorene got the email that I sent the PDF as a written report.
Lorraine?
Madam Chair and members of the Law and Order Committee, I got Mr. Chi's report and it was sent out to LOC members and staff. Thank you.
What time did you send it out, Lorraine?
About 2 minutes ago.
Thank you for that, Lorraine. So with that, committee members, we do have a report that has been provided to us in writing by Mr. We also have the verbal report that was provided to us back on September 13th, 2021. I would like to ask the committee members at this time, I do need a motion to remove this report from table status and to hear the report today. Can I get a motion and a second?
Vice Chair, all motion.
Motion by Honorable Otto So, second by Honorable Eugene So. The report to remove the report from table status and to hear the report today. We're going to go ahead and proceed forward with the roll call vote. Sherelle, can you assist us with the roll call vote, please?
Okay, Honorable Otto So, how do you vote?
I vote green.
Honorable Otto So votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazzie, how do you vote? Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazzie, how do you vote? Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton, you have 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting, which is including Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton not voting, Honorable Vince James not voting, and Honorable Edmund Yazzie not voting, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, Sherelle. So just for the record, we do have 2 Law and Order Committee members who are absent. The email or the report or the information was provided to them for the last 2 meetings about today's special meeting. In addition, for the record, I do want to point out that Lorraine Spencer did send the entire 24th Navajo Nation Council and the Law and Order Committee members this calendar invite with the information, the phone number, the meeting ID, the passcode, all of the information has been provided in our calendar. But we do have 2 committee members who are absent at this time, Honorable Vince James and Honorable Edmund Yazzie. So thank you for the roll call vote at this time, Sherelle. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn the floor back over to Mr. Larry Chi. Mr. Chi, you will have 15 minutes to provide your information. If you need an additional 5 minutes, you can ask the committee members. If there are no objections, we can go ahead and proceed forward to give you the additional 5 minutes on the clock, which will give you a total of 20 minutes to give your presentation. You can have up to 2 agents who can assist you with answering questions or to help provide information on the report. Anything that you submit to this committee, please send them to Lorraine so that she can send them out to the committee members and other delegates who are on the line. Before I turn the floor over to you, Mr. Chi, Fire Chief Chi, do you have any questions?
No, I don't, but I want to request the 2 representatives as the agents will be Captain John Williams when I call upon him, and then also Mr. Jesse Delmore, our Division Director. Madam Chair.
Thank you for sharing that information, Fire Chief Chi. So with that, Mr. Chi, we do have a motion. That main motion is still in place. And that main motion was made by Honorable Eugene So, and it was seconded by Honorable Vince James for this report. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor back over to you at this time. Mr. Chi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hope everybody's well, doing good. We appreciate the LOC's time for our written and verbal report this morning. We'll go and start with the questions. One question was brought up. What was the plan and accomplishments that we've completed so far to be reported to LOC? And our answer would be, we currently have over 27 employees and 11 firefighters, 5 recruits, 1 fire chief, 1 captain, and 1 IT person, and 8 lieutenants, and who covered the entire reservation, an exception to those counties, townships, and cities that respond by mutual aid, automatic aid into the Navajo Nation. And we appreciate the support that they provide. And also we have currently our general special funding, which is helping us tremendously. But since 1985, the fire department has operated on volunteers and very small organizations. And in 2018, we worked to increase the budget from roughly $500,000 a year to a little bit over $8 million that we're operating on currently. We started with fire stations from Fort Defiance, Ganado, Tuba, Shiprock, and Chinle. And later, Shiprock and Ganado sought to fund their own departments, respectively, from the counties. And these stations thrived, leaving us seeking and asking for funding time and time again until 2018. And with the help of support from the Law and Order Committee and the Navajo Nation Council, legislation was passed in 2018 to help not only the department, but also the communities that we help. And after 33 years, we began to develop a plan that will eventually incorporate entire reservation. We see many challenges that will take time and unforeseen more funding. With the legislation, we have successfully obtained necessary funding to increase personnel, obtain new trucks, obtain updated equipment, and beginning to renovate some of the existing buildings and increase training. And since then, when we got the general special funding, when it was implemented, we have increased from 9 to 27 personnel currently that are working. And we've increased 8 fire trucks, from 8 fire trucks to 23 presently operating. And like I said, we've begun to renovate some of the fire stations, incorporating technology to assist firefighters to perform their duties. And this is thus within the 2 years that we got the special funding. And for years, we have admired other fire stations throughout the Navajo Nation, obtained much needed equipment and trucks. But until recently, decrease in revenue in Navajo Nation and current economy and other states, we've begun to seek return after the new funding that have come in. We've seen, like for example, Shiprock going back under the Navajo Nation, and Oahu and Newcomb, and so on. So there's increase of awareness that we can operate all the fire stations on Navajo. But fire protection is a challenge here on the reservation with the distance, no real addressing scarce water sources, and constant need for additional support from our communities. So in addition, with the COVID outbreak, we were involved directly when it started, and more than a year ago, within the community like Chinchimbato, and we were the first ones there to help the people. And we have, only due to our firefighters that are trained with contained breathing apparatuses and PEs, and providing humanitarian aid. And in addition, we've also assist with large wildland fires, and we want to continue supporting our community through the health command center and OPVP and chapters in our community. So it is a big challenge to provide fire protection and support on Navajo Nation. And we look forward to continuing to support to increase fire protection on Navajo, and some of our immediate needs are as follows. And some of the questions were, what is our problem? What are our needs? So a few things here that I want to mention that these are needs that we are in dire need. For example, we need help in funding new fire stations throughout the reservation. We need support in the actual enhanced 911 dispatch centers that support our operation, and other things such as implementing and adopting fire and life safety codes for the Navajo Nation. And we need additional support funding to increase manpower, apparatus, and fire stations and equipment. And we also need help with obtaining mutual aid among other departments that surround the Navajo Nation, so we need assistance there. And with that, there was another question on approved budget for FY 21, and then where we're at as far as allocation. But the numbers are a little bit off of the questions that was asked back on the first meeting. Is that it should be actually for this year, $8,035,968 is for fiscal year 2022 that was approved and processed. And but this amount is and will fluctuate every fiscal year, because our special funding is from general revenues that are collected and then divvied up among other departments, including our fire department. So it doesn't mean that we're going to get over 8 million every year. An example, last year we only got 6.5, and it was based on general revenues that were collected on Navajo Nation. And in the document, we show a chart, a pie chart of percentages of our budget for 2022, and 25% of the budget is for new purchase of equipment and vehicles. 32% of our budget is goes towards personnel and costs and includes fringe benefits, and about 34% is for facility renovation that we see across of the 8 fire stations, and the remaining 9% of the budget pretty much is for like operational costs, and that should equal out to 100% of our budget for 2022. And the other question was for the Twin Arrows budget. They merely give us only $75,500 to operate on, and that's pretty much just for operational costs like vehicle maintenance, fuel, inspection and re-inspecting of the trucks, pump testing and whatnot. So that's Twin Arrows budget is merely just for operational costs. And the next question was, since the third quarter, some accounts have been paid out. Actual amount that was left back in August was about $1,603,379 was left in the budget as of the third quarter, and that amount is pretty much taken up by salaries and a little bit of operating costs. So so that was the third quarter expenditure report that was requested. So that's what we gathered. And from here, I want to turn the mic over to Captain Williams, if he's on the line, to go over the quarterly stats and numbers, because these numbers as data and statistics come from the fire districts of 8 under Navajo Nation, and they're collected with narrative reports and actually written reports, and those reports get compiled by our division and then get sent up to the president's office for their information. So we were asked to provide the goals and actual numbers that were collected during the first, second, and third quarter. But we did add the fourth quarter as our fourth quarter report was submitted last week. So, Madam Chair, I'd like to turn the mic over to Captain Williams if he's on the line.
Captain Williams, are you on the line?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm here.
Hey, Captain Williams, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, Delegate Yazzie, yes.
Yeah, Madam Chair, good morning, LOC members and everyone that's online. I'm on, Madam Chair, but I have to go back to RDC because of the RU business project, okay? And the business officer presenting a lease that we're working on, okay? Just FYI, good morning.
Good morning, Delegate Yazzie. Thank you for announcing your presence on Law and Order Committee. Yes, if you have to get off the line to get to RDC, we can excuse you from today's meeting.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So with that, Mr. Williams, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna continue with the report for Navajo Nation Fire and Rescue. The quarter program performance assessment scores is derived from each fire station, and it reports as part of the quarterly report compiled by myself. Each fiscal year, we anticipate the expectation of Navajo Nation fire stations to accomplish. The scoring can fluctuate based on activity at the fire stations. The one question was, how has it been indicated how these plans were made? Provide information how you met with all the MOA and Navajo Nation Fire Department to address the following. The number one goal to improve our reaction time to less than 10 minutes per quarter. This is done to reduce our reaction time to each call. Every time the reaction time is calculated by average per station by the number of calls received.
I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. Please hang up on them. 252. Don't mute them, hang up on them. Again, we have a zero tolerance rule at Law and Order Committee. If you cannot mute your phone, you will be hung up on, and you're welcome to call back in. But please make sure your phone is on mute. I see a lot of phones that are not on mute. Phone number ending in 437. Your phone keeps lighting up. So that means we can hear the background that's happening right now. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Williams. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the reaction time is to be under 10 minutes when actually throughout this whole last fiscal year, first quarter was 4 minutes, second quarter, 3 minutes, third quarter, 3 minutes, and fourth quarter with 3 minutes. So we met that goal within the whole fiscal year. Goal number 2, to increase the number of personnel adequately respond to incidents. This is done to ensure that personnel responding to an incident, more than 3 responders is ideal. The goal would be to reach more than 5. But this quarter, it fluctuated with the first quarter being 2, second quarter increased to 3, and the remaining 2 quarters being 2 responders. But this is largely due to the number of responders that have joined our department, but also there's a lot of vacancies within our fire department that we're trying to fulfill at this moment. Goal number 3, to provide 24 fire prevention safety classes. A minimum of 3 fire prevention classes are ideal for each district. We have 8 fire stations, and minimum each station should be doing about 3 of them. But due to COVID and the general public not having access to internet, they would like to have face-to-face classes, but us being first responders as well as the essential employees, we really limit that. But we try to have them log on to our Microsoft Teams, which is anywhere from 2 students to maybe even 15 students per class. So that number fluctuated from 4, 5, 5, and 8 perspective per each quarter. It has increased gradually. I think that the word is getting out to the public that we are having fire prevention classes online. Goal number 4 is to provide training for firefighter in-house and state certifications. These numbers are high this fiscal year to confine to a local area because each fire station does do in-service training. It's up to the lieutenants to be responsible for the training personnel in their respective fire stations. But as far as professional qualification for firefighter needs, that is being completed as well through the Arizona Center for Fire Service Excellence. We just got done doing one IFSAC certification through the state, which is recognizable throughout the contiguous 50 states throughout the United States as well. I am recognized by the state to be a certified instructor as well as to conduct these courses as needed. The next training is going to be the extrication class coming up within 2 weeks. So all personnel are emailed, they are notified about it, and we develop a roster from there out. Goal number 5 is conduct continuous fire inspections per quarter. The facility fire inspections are conducted on a quarterly basis. Inspections are conducted to assist the owners to be aware of fire and life safety within their occupancies. These are, again, the fire lieutenants are responsible for the quarterly inspections. So a lieutenant is ultimately in charge of each fire station. So within their communities, they're supposed to go out and meet the quota for the inspections, which the goal is 12 for each quarter. Going back to the report that was sent to LOC, first quarter was 8 and it increased to 14, 13, and 35 this last quarter. So these inspections are being conducted by the lieutenants. These are Navajo Nation Fire and Rescue's budgeted program performance assessments, and not through any MOA or MOU criteria with other agencies. Other agencies may have their own report to report to their own funding agencies, such as counties. We do not have their info or have no oversight how they operate, so we don't have that information for you to share. The performance assessment is an internal scoring criterion set by the Navajo Nation Office of Budget and Management for Navajo Nation programs to utilize and to measure their performance throughout the fiscal year. Performance assessment scores reflect the numbers of assessment scoring per quarter. The program criteria are set every fiscal year for the Navajo Nation fire districts and communicated to ensure goals are met. So my responsibility is to tell the lieutenants, you know, you're lacking in one of these 5 goals, and it's up to them to increase those numbers so that, you know, the inspections, the classes, response times, or reaction times, I'm sorry, as well as the personnel who respond throughout the Navajo Nation. Gradually, we're seeing an increase in improvement in our numbers, but with the 52 total positions for the department, only 27 are filled, with 25 vacant. There are 26 full-time employees that are currently working for the fire department right now, and 26 that are vacant as well. So a total of 52. The districts are always recruiting involving high school career shows, Department of Personnel Management, career presentations, and personal contact with family and community members as well. Public safety first responders are difficult to recruit as a national and local COVID-19 pandemic has limited our efforts as well. So this concludes the report for my section, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I believe your time is actually up. Lorraine, is that correct?
Madam Chair, there was a minute left. Thank you.
I do apologize. You have a minute left. Chief Chi, do you want to use up that minute or does that conclude the rest of your presentation?
We'd like to try to use up that minute, Madam Chair and committee members. We appreciate the time and effort that this committee provides us to provide as much information as those questions were presented to us verbally. And unfortunately, the last meeting or the last second meeting, we tried calling in 4 times that morning, and we only got a notice from Zoom that we were the first ones in the meeting, and we didn't hear anything. So we were unable to call in, but unfortunately that happened. But we hope that we answered most and all of the questions that were asked. There were a lot of other questions asked in Navajo, and but we try to stay in line with the agenda and what questions are being asked. But the other thing that we didn't receive from through email is I know that there was a directive made by yourself, Madam Chair, that to compile all the questions and to be sent to myself and the department to answer. Unfortunately, we didn't see any of that happening through email. So these are some of the questions that were asked in the first meeting. And so, Madam Chair, this will conclude our report to the Law and Order Committee. Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, Chief Chi. And let the record reflect that we do have Honorable Vince James, who has joined the call, as well as Honorable Nathaniel Brown, who is also on the call as well. Honorable Vince James, do you want to go ahead and just let them know that you are on the line? *6, Honorable Vince James. Okay, we can't hear you, Honorable Vince James. Honorable Nathaniel Brown, would you like to announce yourself on the line?
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's another Law and Order Committee. Shinand, staff, thank you for all your help. I say Nathaniel Brown, this is an Tobahan Slow look up, this is Ching Kia Ani, this is Chay, as a son of the Shanala. Craigie, the agenda, the for the fire department's Navajo Nation Fire Department for your presentation. I'm listening in, and however we can work together, and I'm just listening in for the Kayenta Fire Department. Thank
you for that, Honorable Brown. Honorable Vince James. I think Honorable Vince James is having some difficulties, but he is on the line. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to proceed forward now to questions. Committee members are based on the information that has been provided to us and based on the written report that has been sent to us via email. Are there any questions or comments? Lorraine, can you go ahead and send that report to Honorable Nathaniel Brown so that he has that for his record? Are there any questions or comments at this time?
Madam Chair?
Honorable Otto So, the floor is yours.
Well, I appreciate the dialogue and the report that has been sent to the committee, Chief Chi and Captain Williams. And I guess in the future, I think we really need to look at maybe a quarterly update from each of the, maybe from fire department, just to see where we're at and get some quarterly numbers on so we actually have a grasp on how many homes were, maybe caught on fire and so forth. And I think that dialogue, we really need to get that dialogue into the I guess whenever I think we need to have a conversation conversation with public safety also pertaining to their numbers quarterly, so that we have that information as constituents ask about information, what's public safety doing and as a whole. And I think that's what we need, and I look forward to looking at that type of dialogue, because it is very important that we have some general numbers. We know those numbers and what communities where the fires happen and so forth. So we are aware of it, because at times people would ask, how come public safety is not doing this? How come it took, all these questions come up and you're like, well, first of all, I don't have that information, but I'll ask the director for you. And that's when I would go to ask the director. So those information is something that is needed. The other is that I don't want to get down to, how come you didn't do this in my area or all this stuff. You talked about the sales tax revenue that comes in, that's being collected, that additional 1%. What is the a realistic number? Excuse me. A realistic number of public safeties or fire departments need the numbers to actually fully fund the current operation that's under the Navajo Nation. And then how much is it additional revenue to fund like help assist fund Kayenta Township and the like the county. We can start looking at cost revenues. What are we looking at and what is our shortfall, so that we all understand where we're at, because fire department is something that's a need on Navajo, and we do want to expand, but as we plan to expand, the issue will be revenue. And where will we be picking up that additional revenue source to fund the shortfall for the need of the fire station? So though, and I know that we are there's positions that are open and things like that, and hopefully we do get them to get people to apply. The other is that I really don't have an issue with the Twin Arrows budget. That's spoken to through a funding agreement between the Twin Arrows and the Navajo Nation Fire Department. So those dollars are strictly utilized for that purpose, nowhere else, and that's basically to service the gaming compact. Because the gaming compact has a clause in there that indicates that fire safety needs to be provided within so many minutes, and it speaks to public safety also, and EMS. So I know that $75,000 for the fire department there is well spoken for, and we cannot disseminate or break up those dollars, because it's supposed to service the need of the gaming compact of our facility there at Twin Arrows. Thank you very much. I'm going to go on mute.
Thank you for that, Vice Chair. Phone number ending in 115. Please mute your phone. We can hear your conversations, or we can hear you shuffling in the background. Lorraine, can you go ahead and hang up on them? 505 ending in 115. Again, I will make it clear. Please do not interrupt the presenters or the delegates who are asking questions. Mute your phone. Make sure they're on mute. If you are caught with your phone not on mute, we will hang up on you, and you're welcome to call back in again. So with that, we do have Vice Chair Ottoso who asked a question and shared some concerns with you. Are there any other delegates or who are on the line who would like to ask questions? For the record, it does appear that we have Delegate Carl Slater who is on the line, who has joined the Law and Order Committee. Honorable Vince James, do you have a question or a comment?
Yes, Shanala here.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you again, Shanala, Madam Chair. Ado Nana, Shanala, Vice Chair. Ado Shiyat, Honorable Eugene So. Doshika Asha, I think he got off the line. Honorable Edmund Yazi. Ado presenters, Ganado Fire District, now for Nation Fire District. Okay, one of my questions that I had posed was the agreements that you guys have in place, and where you at in those agreements. So I know that I know my questions, it's not being answered, and then I emailed you guys the questions, but going back to the agreements, you do have that information that you just provided us, the listing that indicates of which fire districts that you're working with MOAs with, like Flagstaff and San Juan, Farmington, Dashade, Stoughton, Pecan, how far are you going along with the agreements? In this case, I guess for me, on my behalf, I'm asking in regards to Ganado Fire District, and that has been an ongoing deal thing there with your office. Been some times, I know, I think it goes back several years with those agreements not being worked on, and that was one of the questions that I had. And in regards to positions, in your position, was there any plan of doing restructures or eliminating certain qualifications to attract more firefighters to the nation to fill these positions? And the other question was, how long have these positions that are vacant, how long have they been vacant for? And I believe a lot of your positions have been vacant for quite some time. I'm assuming beyond, some of them beyond 5 years, 3 years that have been vacant. And so what is being done for those positions instead of pointing back to Department of Personnel Management? What is it that you guys are doing from your office to try to fill these positions? That way they don't continue to add more years of just sitting there being vacant. And that was my question when we were talking about the budget, and to see if we can reallocate some of those positions that have been vacant beyond 3 years to certain areas that are needed in your department. So I'll just go ahead and try and get the response again, but if not, then I don't know what else to say. But I've been really trying to ask about the information, and the information is not given back. Madam Chair. Although LOC members not thank you.
Thank you for that, Honorable Vince James. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor back over at this time to Fire Chief Chi to answer the questions and the concerns that have been brought forward by Vice Chair Aruso and then also Honorable Vince James. Fire Chief Chi, the floor is yours.
Madam Chair, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. First question, Delegate James, we appreciate your questions for your community as far as Kayenta Fire. Yes, we appreciate the support that we get from surrounding fire departments that assist and help us when we respond to calls. We really appreciate that, and that's the effort that needs to continue. And we're all about working together, not only tomorrow, tonight, but in the future. And we always like to sit down and have discussion plans and how everybody is responding to calls and the needs. So we like to hear that. Until we do that, then we can move and help each other. So we appreciate your support and comments, Delegate Brown. Although also Shay Tohetin so Hanagan Bashes Chin do Shinda Shinagado to Hane Dashi so Ko Shita Shinle also Ko Sheheko and committee members. Yes, we are able to share reports, quarter numbers, and even in graphs, and to continue the dialogue that's being asked. We have no problems or issues to do that. Data, statistics do come from the districts as it was presented earlier. And anything that happens out there is reported as incidents and or other fire prevention and protection statistics. So we gather everything, including the question on how many home fires do we have as far as by count and also by dollar value. We collect all that. It's all in our database. So that's the one thing that we didn't provide because we're just trying to stay within the parameters of the agenda. So we can also provide that in the long run and future. So, but we do agree that Twin Arrows operational budget is somewhat adequate, but we're going to go back to the casino and to the management to ask for more funding. Realistically, $75,500 is really is not enough to support the operation of Twin Arrows, but Twin Arrows does provide a lot of other support as far as maintenance costs to the building, and so on, as far as supplies, emergency incidents where they provide manpower and assistance for utilities and also HVAC system that including the building itself. So we coordinate a lot of effort into helping each other and helping Twin Airways as well. So, that's what we're realizing, that amount of funds is really not enough. So we want to continue working with them and hopefully ask for more funding down the road. Although Delegate James, so here, we appreciate the question and of agreements in place and where we at. The mutual aid agreements or the MOA agreements are in place between fire department, not only within the Navajo Nation, but also borders surrounding the Navajo Nation. That mutual aid agreement is pretty much, in a sense, to help each other without cost, but to assist the Navajo Nation and also assist other fire departments that are in that mutual aid agreement in times of emergency situations, to provide support with manpower, equipment, water supply, and whatnot. So the agreements are just merely to help each other, and there is really no to say that there is a cost that affects that the Navajo Nation will pay a certain department to respond or not. So that's not in the agreement. It's pretty merely just to help each other in times of emergency as far as mutual aid agreement. But we did, like in the last report, we did provide information that the last revision on the MOA was done last year, and as we have a new template that Captain Williams and the districts are going to start sending out, so that there's a new template that was developed by DOJ. So we will be sending those out. It pretty much spells out the same criteria as to help each other during emergency situations, but with new language and new template. So that's forthcoming from our office through the district. So, and the other question, I hope that answers the MOA agreement question. And yes, we did work on it. We did update it, so that will be forwarded. As far as restructuring, eliminating or reclassifying positions to get more people on board as far as back as 3 years. I believe the new positions, as far as adding more personnel, was added on only about 2 years to now. So, but we did add on up to 27 firefighters are now employed. If we can remember 3 years or 4 years back, we only had 8 firefighters to cover the whole Navajo Nation from Navajo Nation Fire Department. But now we have 27, and we continue to recruit. As Captain Williams presented, that every week we do go out and talk to schools, and we are present at career developments with not only local schools, but also at the some of the meetings that we have with the chapters. We provide packets to possible recruits so that they can go through the academy. And so, yes, we recruit almost every week, every month, and that's one of the goals, is to get at least a minimum of 5 firefighters per station, and to start developing shift schedules so that we have enough people per call. And so we're making efforts, we're making ways to fill some of those positions. I hope that answers most of the questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, Fire Chief Chi. And just to be clear, you did state when you referenced the first delegate, that you referenced the wrong delegate. It was actually Delegate Vince James who was asking those questions. So with that, Honorable Vice Chair Otto So, did you have a follow-up question?
No, I don't have any follow-up question. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Honorable Vince James Shinella, do you have a follow-up question? Not hearing anything from Honorable Vince James, I'm going to go ahead and ask the delegates who are on the line and committee members, are there any other questions or comments at this time for Fire Chief Chi?
This is Delegate Brown.
Honorable Brown, the floor is yours.
I'm trying to multitask here. Unfortunately, I know I'm talking to the right committee. I want to make a statement that's pretty sensitive, but this is, you know, in the Navajo Nation, this is the first of the month. And right now I'm trying to chase away some people who are drinking and from my aunt's house. So we call the cops, and this is what I can understand that our Navajo people deal with. So it's very disheartening and trying to communicate with them. But to the question, I am with the Kayenta Police Department. I know Kayenta Township is responsible for them. However, there's still a shortfall that happened. So I know that Township is doing their best on trying to think creatively, but we're still short. Sometimes our firefighters are using their turnout gear, and some of them are too big or too small. And I understand that in other areas they change them out regularly to follow the safety standards. So also I know that I wanted Police Fire Chief Chi. What other initiatives can we work on, and how can we assist you on basically working with maybe Navajo Nation workforce development, the TANF program, and start employing our Navajo people to become to help out with firefighting. And also with the chapters, we do have the when we have emergencies on the Navajo Nation, that all 110 chapters, one of the emergency they request that chapters, you know, with their CERT team, supposed to activate during flooding and other natural disasters. And I think in fire situations, we would need, if you can share with me the protocol that you share. Recently, I've been getting some calls from our Navajo people, our relatives who have dealt with burnout situations. And one of the big things that we're finding out is just, especially in the NXA, some of them, and some of these housing clusters of homes, a lot of their fire hydrants are not working. And like in Kayenta, this elderly home, she lost her house and the fire hydrant wasn't working, so they had to wait for the fire truck. So we're seeing these, how can we help you to promote preventative measures? Right now, winter's coming up, and I know from what I've heard from the previous years on Navajo Nation, it seems like our people are putting in not incorrectly the stove, and I guess there's specific kits for modular homes. However, when they put their own fire stoves in there, what happens is, unfortunately, we keep losing our people and their homes and all their valuables. So winter's coming up. How can we have a campaign on making sure that our people are keeping their homes safe? I know modular homes almost seems like to be the majority of fires these days that I see and get people when they notify me. It's these modular homes. And I hear that some of them are because of the wind, the amount of wind we get in these modular homes when they're not situated right. It's the wires are eroding away. That's what causes sparks inside the walls. So I really want to encourage our Navajo people to make sure that their homes are set. And that's, but this is some of the crisis that we're facing. The other thing is the fire hydrant. And some of these homes that I know our people have reached out to me, they are paying fire insurance, and yet when they lost their house in Chochimbito, they were told, well, we can't help you because there's no fire hydrant within, I believe, like 50 to 100 feet from your house, and which is the case for the majority of Navajo Nation where our people live. So I'm looking for solutions. I'm looking on how we can help you from the Navajo Nation Council. And I mean, there's always budget that comes up, and how can we, and the other thing is your report and your data on how many homes that we lose each year on the Navajo Nation, and how many of our people have we lost to fires. I know when I was talking to the city police the firefighters, they told me that one of the most traumatic experience was in Cameron when they responded to a house fire, that the family, a whole group of family, the kids and the parents couldn't get out of their modular home in time. So this is very graphic, and my apologies but this is the reality of Navajo. Is they basically just heard a bunch of screams and crying because they couldn't get out and the fire consumed them. And we want to prevent this. So Fire Chief Chi, I understand that your work is immense, but I think this is where I would really like to see your collaboration outside Navajo. Is there a national firefighters organization that you're working with currently? I know that NTOA has been very creative in Light Up Navajo, calling upon nationally. What are you doing to be creative instead of just waiting for Navajo Nation dollars? What I hear in your presentation is, we're just like you almost said, like we're just a support team. We don't have money. We don't provide any of that. What are some of the big trainings that you are lacking, that maybe around this time that the Navajo Nation can support you? And like for myself, we're being creative by working with outside organizations such as universities. So I'm wondering what outside organization are you collaborating with? Are you working on different grants, and what kind of grants are you working with right now? Is there also a national pot with the firefighters? I know like there's HUD and there's others that we're very aware of, but I'm not familiar. Who are you working with currently, and how can we help you? Do you lobby Washington, D.C. or at the state level? So how can we help you in that? What kind of policy will help you in some of these situations? So, and once I'm not professional in this area, I don't know. So I'm looking to you for how we can help you and bring some of these solutions. Again, Kayenta right now, I dropped the legislation to tap into some of the tax dollars, but again, we just received an email this morning with the very scarce attorneys that we have at our legal council for the council delegates in the nation. So we are facing these problems and issues at this time where we are looking for solutions, how we can, ultimately it's protecting our people. So again, the biggest thing I'll recap is preventative measures. The second one is working collaboratively with outside organizations. The third one is how many grants have you written for help and other national organizations also. And the fourth one would be, what kind of unmet needs have you provided the Navajo Nation so far, and how can we support you? So I have a lot of other questions and concerns, but I can forward those to you also. But and yeah, thank you, Law and Order Committee, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Took over the chair for a while. Madam Chair had to take care of something. With that, I believe the only question was from Mr. Brown. So moving forth, I'm going to go down to Eugene So. Eugene So, you have the floor.
Also, a few issues. That's what we work on, issues. What laws, what regulations, I hope you understand English, Navajo, I mean. What can we do in regards to that? So where the situation is right now, are we ready for a big fight, a fire, or any others emergency? Are we ready? 110%. So that's what my question is. If not, where can we get this thing where we can be ready for anything that's going to happen? Because you don't know what's going on out there. They are different now. People are fighting here and there all over the place. So articles just all say that this is not for just, if this is real, what we're seeing out there in the United States. So we need to be ready for that. I don't think we even don't have any where we can go underground to hide, or any food that's stored away for all of us, over 400,000. See that, just case. So they all another election only. So this time is different. The Republicans are fighting hard. So you know what's going on and what happened in Texas, and this the same thing happening in Arizona. So these are very critical things for people that are really in need based upon that. So it seems that they're against our democracy. So we're in a big fight. We're looking at it right now. So how are we ready for this? So all our preachers are not like the record maybe 10 years ago, 20 years. It's different now. What I was asking last time when you reported was I wanted to drop a legislation where it's needed. Maybe we need something like a fire truck here or anything that's needed right now. Even because of the streets there, because there's ARPA fund coming up. So we now go, I would look for those kind of needs that you guys have. I just don't want to ask questions and what we need. I know how it is out there. I've been on this Navajo Nation for 69 years, so I know what's going on. So thank you for reporting today.
Okay, thank you very much. Chief Chi, turn the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Vice Chair. Question by Delegate Brown. We realize what's happening most of the time on Navajo Nation, especially the first of the month. We see that during a lot of the calls that we go on, vehicle accidents and people at homes that are unresponsive, transporting them to the hospital. So we go through that as you are. But our efforts are 24/7. So we realize that, and every month that's what we go through. So unfortunately, that's our community. That's what we see out there. And you mentioned clusters of NHA homes, or a lot of incidents do happen as far as what was mentioned as far as first of the month occasions and whatnot. But as far as burnouts, providing statistics and how can we prevent those burnouts that cost owners high cost of insurance and so on. In our report from this early on this morning, we mentioned we need assistance to help us to adopt the national fire codes and life safety codes on Navajo Nation. A few times we've tried that through my office with the different consuls, but unfortunately that has not happened of all the years that we've been here. Through those codes and code adoption as far as construction, as far as life safety in homes, not only commercial buildings like bashes or other businesses on behalf of the tribe here on Navajo, we can go a little further and help communities to realize these are life safety codes that should be acknowledged, that should be of importance when they live in a modular home or a trailer, or even how to install wood stoves, pellet stoves. So there are codes that provide guidance. And when we operate and establish fire departments across Navajo, we designate our personnel and lieutenants of the 8 fire stations that we have to provide that information to communities that are in some of the classes that we provide as far as fire prevention and protection. And it's just that recently, a little bit over a year due to the pandemic, we've only presented a few classes by video conferencing, and a lot, as noted in our report, a lot of people don't have access to internet and whatnot, so that continues to be an issue. And as far as I hope to answer the question on community fire prevention, that should be provided by your local fire department, and that should be continued. And if Kayenta personnel needs assistance as far as literature, as far as information of what to provide in those classes, we can provide that through our operations section, and we don't have a problem doing that. And we can also provide some of the burnout that's happening on Navajo. As we mentioned, those are all a part of our data and statistics that we collect, so that can be provided directly. And we hope to provide that and make that an effort to work together for at least your community, Delegate Brown. So we appreciate the questions, and we are more than glad to provide the information. As far as grants and lobbying and working outside off the reservation or Navajo, or even national help, we do send in for grants through the fire administration. As far as Homeland Security, we did send in a couple of grants, but unfortunately, one came back as to at the national level, they're running out of funds as well, and it's a competitive type grant that we submit. And there are other grants that we're looking at currently to submit. It's just that a lot of those grants require matching funds, so it's not just 1%. Sometimes it's 15 to 20% that we have to match. So we still have to look at our budget and see where we can find the funds. So that's as far as grants. Yes, we can apply for all the grants that we can. It's just that what kind of matching funds do we have? But I'm sure that we can work through those issues as well. And if you, Delegate Braun, if you can send me the questions, other questions that you have, and we can work directly with your office and the community to help not only the community, but we can help assist the fire department locally there of different types of programs that we have as far as fire prevention and protection. So I hope that answered your questions. And then Mr. So, Mr. Eugene So, Delegate So, yes, we always have issues in our operation. We hope that they don't become a problem, but we would like to take care of those issues as soon as we can. And there, of course, we're talking about, as I mentioned, adopting national codes, life safety codes. Those are laws that we're talking about. Yes, we do need help to place those in place, and that's to get through some of the obstacles that we're facing. And so we do need help legislatively to support us in adopting some of those laws and also codes. We can work directly with your office as well to start that and to venture and to help each other, and so that we can provide the services that are needed on Navajo. So that will be the last question. Hopefully I answered all of them. Vice Chair?
Thank you for answering that question, Vice Chair. Actually,
Okay.
the gavel. So I appreciate that, Fire Chief for the questions that you've answered. Are there any other questions or comments at this time from any of the delegates who are currently on the line?
Madam Chair,
Honorable Eugene So, the floor is yours.
Decoded Coach Nigi, I would like to work with you. I'll have my LDA send you a meeting, scheduled meeting, see what we can do with it. How we can discuss those coach changes or development. On files and the information. I'll let my LDA write a letter to you.
Thank you for that, Shaja. Are there any other delegates who have any questions, comments, or concerns they would like to talk about at this time? Not hearing anything. Fire Chief I would like to know, and I know that you did cover this, but can we get it in writing? How many homes that you're aware of that have burned in the last maybe 10 years? We currently have homes. I know we had about 5 homes in Shiprock that burned down completely during 2020 during COVID. And so I'm a little bit, I would like to know how many homes across the Navajo Nation, how many homes have burned down so that we can, I know that during 2020, council did pass a some funding to go to homes that have what we call burnouts, those homes that have burned down. And it was vetoed by President Nez, so perhaps that needs to be brought back up again. But sharing that information, I think, would be good information for us to know. Since there's no other questions or comments at this time, committee members, we do have a motion established by Honorable Eugene So, a second by Honorable Vince James for this report. The written report has been sent to the committee members. Lorraine should have sent that also to the delegates who are on the line. Delegate Nathaniel Brown, Delegate Carl Slater, who have both joined Law and Order Committee. So with that, committee members, since there's no other questions or comments, I'm going to go ahead and proceed forward to call for the vote at this time. Sherelle, can you assist us with the roll call vote, please?
Okay, Honorable Otto So, how do you vote?
I vote green.
Honorable Otto So votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote? Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazi, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazi, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Sherelle, I am looking at the call-in numbers. It appears that we lost quorum. Only myself and Vice Chair Otto So is on this call. We don't have Honorable Vince James. We don't have Honorable Eugene So. And Honorable Edmund Yazi has asked to be excused to attend an RDC meeting. Honorable Eugene So, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sherelle.
Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Okay, so
Okay, and Honorable Vince James. Okay, Madam Chair, you have 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting, which is including Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton not voting, Honorable Edmund Yazi excused, and Honorable Vince James not voting, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that. So with the vote of 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting, we're going to go ahead and accept the report from Fire Chief Larry Chi for the Navajo Nation Fire and Rescue Services regarding the fire department's agreement across the Navajo Nation. Fire Chief Chi, we appreciate your time and we appreciate all the days that you have been on this committee providing us your report. You are excused at this time. Your report has been accepted. Thank you.
thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, with that, committee members, we will go ahead and proceed forward to item number 7, new business. We do have legislation number 0201-21. We have sponsor Honorable Carl Slater. Delegate Slater, are you still on the line?
Can you hear me, Chair Charles Newton?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you just fine. So with that, Lorraine, can you go ahead and can you please read legislation number 0201-21 into the record, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tracking number 0201-21. An action relating to health, education, human services, resources and development, law and order, budget and finance, Nabakia committees, and nomination council. Approving the transfer of the National Transport System from the Navajo Division of General Services to the Navajo Division of Transportation, amending the Navajo Transit System Plan of Operation and organizational chart, and amending to NAC Section 1252B89. Purpose of this resolution, if approved, will transfer the Navajo Transit System from Division of General Services to Navajo Division of Transportation. When the transition is approved, all necessary entities and oversight committees will be updated. Further to NAC Section 1252B89 will be amended. Attached as the Exhibit A, which is the Navajo Transit System Plan of Operation, updated on September 2021. Following that is Attachment 1, Navajo Division of Transportation, Navajo Transit System Organization Chart, updated September 2021. Exhibit B is the Navajo Nation Department of Justice Document Review Request Form, Executive Official Review Form. And this has gone through the 5-day comment, and there is one comment supporting from Garrett Silversmith, Division Director in DOT. There is a letter attached to him to going to the Navajo Nation Council. And committee report from Health, Education, and Human Services Committee with approved committee report, and also committee report from Resources and Development is also approved. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Lorraine. Lorraine, can you hang up on last three digits, 193? They kept interrupting you during your reading into the record. And again, I'm going to ask everyone again to make sure their phone is on mute. If your phone is not on mute and you interrupt the presenters or the speakers, it hinders the work at this committee that has to be done. And so again, we have a zero tolerance rule. If you cannot mute your phone, we will hang up on you. Again, we are warning you again for the fourth or fifth time today. So with that, the legislation number 0201-21 has been read into the record. We do have Honorable Carl Slater, who is on the line. Can I get a motion and a second for 0201-21?
Vice Chair will second that. Thank you.
Motion made by Honorable Eugene So, second by Honorable Otto So. So with that, Delegate Slater, I believe that you have presented before this committee before. I don't think I need to go through the rules of this committee. So I'm going to go ahead and ask at this time, committee members, as you know, at Law and Order Committee, we handle our legislations in two ways. One, as committee members, we do receive the legislations when they are released from the 5-day comment period. They are released to us by manual RICO, and it gives us the opportunity to look at the legislation. If any committee members has any questions regarding this legislation, we will turn the floor over to Honorable Carl Slater to present his legislation before this committee. However, if the committee has no questions based on the legislation that has been sent to us by manual RICO, we can go ahead and we can proceed forward to the vote. I'm going to ask the committee members, does any committee members at this time, do they have any questions regarding legislation 0201-21? Committee members, I will ask one more time. Are there any questions from committee members for 0201-21? Not hearing anything. Sherelle, committee members for the 0201-21, I just want to verify we have, did we establish a motion and a second on this?
Yes, we did, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Honorable Eugene So motioned and Honorable Otto So second.
Sorry about that. I didn't write that down. I apologize. So with that, we do have a motion and a second on the floor. Sherelle, can you assist us with the roll call vote, please?
Okay, Honorable Otto So, how do you vote?
I vote green.
Honorable Otto So votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Sure.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazzie is excused. Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton, you have 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting, which is including Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton not voting, Honorable Edmund Yazzie excused, and Honorable Vince James not voting, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, Sherelle. So with that, legislation 0201-21 does pass here in Law and Order Committee. It does proceed forward to Budget and Finance. Thank you for being on the line, Delegate Slater. Your legislation does proceed forward.
May I make a quick request?
Yes.
Madam Chair. Thank you. This past weekend and at the end of this past week, there were shootings at home structures within Bukachuka and Saley wheat fields. And I'm going to be sending an email, and I'll CC you on it, but to the PD, to Chief Francisco, to Mr. Delmar, and we may be requesting some sort of action by the committee to address those issues that have occurred within our community. So I wanted to make you aware and just let you know that that may be forthcoming. So thank you very much for your consideration of the legislation at the committee today, and I hope you have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Delegate Slater. We do let delegates know that one, they can include us on those emails, and we'll be happy to follow up. Or two, if you would like to present that information at the committee, we do welcome that, which we do invite Division of Public Safety to those meetings to answer to the delegate and to the community who are on the line. So however way you would like to proceed, Delegate Slater, just let us know and we'll be happy to accommodate.
Thank you very much.
So with that, committee members, we are now down to item 7B as in boy. We do have a request from Upper Fruitland Chapter to have a meeting. Miss Lisa Bird, the Vice President for Upper Fruitland Chapter, has requested that we meet at the chapter to discuss public safety matters. I believe that part of this public safety matters is to discuss the MOAs and MOUs that are in place right now with the various county or various police departments that are spread throughout outside of the Navajo Nation. So we did have that. We do have that schedule. Lorraine, have you sent out that flyer to the 110 chapters before we proceed forward?
Yes, Madam Chair. Division of Community Development, they sent it out, so it should be out at the chapters. Thank you.
Can you please send those flyers to the committee members so that we have that information with us? Committee members, we do have Miss Lisa Bird, who is on the line with us. Miss Lisa Bird, the request has been submitted to the committee. If you would like to introduce yourself, Ms. Bird, to the committee and formally make the request to the committee, we will be making that motion and second today. Ms. Bird, *6 if you would like the opportunity to speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay. Good afternoon. Lisa Bird but ani nishla torjini bashichin ashihi dashit nala my dishkini dashiche. I am from the Upper Fruitland Chapter. I am the Vice President, and I actually have contacted the local Navajo Nation PD, working with Captain Red Horse, also the other sergeants that have came into our communities in the past couple of months. And we actually had a shooting which resulted in 1 death and 1 hospitalization. We also would like to be, have our questions answered. I found out through, this through community members, and just seeing and witnessing things personally here. We are on the border. We are about 5 minutes from Farmington. So we do get a lot of non-natives that come into the area, and that present, different kinds of issues. So trying to get community members to speak up and to have more communication with the Navajo Police is what our goal is, and to have more communication with the nation to maximize these budget dollars that are being allocated towards these issues that, hopefully we're having. And I just formally would like to make the request for the Law and Order Committee to meet in Fruitland to discuss such issues as that. And hopefully we can discuss change that's going to be coming. I was on the meeting where they were discussing Title 17 would be changing, or the law would be getting to where, these people that are continuously having police contact would be somehow gonna have to pay for it with getting their CIBs taken away. So I am interested in a lot more. I know that I've seen a resolution in many farms that they passed for bootlegging and drugs. And I really want to get more information because it's starting to get bad here and I'm sure it's everywhere. So I just really appreciate your time and for your interest in these issues that we have, whether it be in Kayenta or here near, the city limits. I think that the issues kind of resolve around the same thing the first of the months and, what we have to deal with it. And I do want to commend the person that, spoke out about what was happening to him, that it's not easy to speak out about personal things that happen. So we need to be more communicative to each other, more understanding. And again, I thank you for your time. And I just appreciate your support in this request. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Ms. Bird. So with that, committee members, we do have this on our agenda and the request has been sent out to committee members regarding Ms. Bird's invitation to Upper Fruitland to have a discussion on what's happening within the community and then also the MOAs and MOUs regarding cross-deputization. I believe that this is the day on October 25th when we will be having this meeting, and we are inviting all 110 chapters to take part. Lorraine, is that correct? Lorraine, are you still with us?
Yeah, hold on. Yes, I'm still here. Madam Chair.
Lorraine,
Hello.
the day that we have set aside to hear from the 110 chapters regarding the cross-deputization program, I believe Navajo Division of Public Safety will be presenting that information. That is on October 25th. Is that correct?
Let me check. Hold on just 1 second, please. I believe it was October 11th, but I'm trying to find that document here. Hold on. Yeah. I'm looking for a document. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that. Hold on. Okay, I found it. Okay, it's on Monday, October 11th, 2021 at 10 a.m. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, so on October 11th, we do have the meeting that will be conducted with all 110 chapters regarding the cross-deputy program. That's the only thing that we have scheduled on the agenda because we anticipate that this is going to be full days hearing and then also sharing of information. Division of Public Safety is aware of this as well as 110 chapters. In addition to that, Ms. Bird has come before this committee and requested that we also meet with her to give her an update on what Law and Order Committee is doing to address the law and order of Navajo Nation. And that request has been set for October 25th at the Upper Fruitland Chapter House. Ms. Bird, I just have to ask you, will you have a phone line? And then also, will you have internet available for the committee members during that time? Star 6, Ms. Byrd.
Yes,
Great. Thank
sorry,
you.
it cut out. I could not hear you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I just asked, will you be able to have, like, is there phone service and internet service that will be provided to the internet or to the committee members during that time?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, ma'am. We could, if you could, if we could get a confirmation on how many, that would be great. That way I could kind of set everybody up, spacing them out. And then we do have internet and phone. And then if you want to do presentation, then you can, hook your laptop up to our big screen our projector screen that pulls down. So we've got a pretty good presentation area. So that wouldn't be a problem.
Thank you for that, Ms. Byrd. So with that, we'll go ahead and give you the numbers. I can say that there are 5 committee members on the Law and Order Committee. Whether we will all be in attendance, I don't know, but we definitely have you down right now for October 25th. Committee members, can I get a motion and a second for this request to travel and have a Law and Order Committee meeting at Upper Fruitland Chapter, which is in Delegate Rick Naz's area on October 25th, 2021. This request is being made by the Vice President of the chapter, Lisa Byrd, with the Upper Fruitland Chapter. The purpose of this meeting was to discuss public safety matters, to share with Upper Fruitland Chapter the information that they need in terms of public safety. So with that, I need a motion. And can you please mute your phone?
Also, well, motion.
Motion made by Honorable Otto. So can I get a second? Second made by Honorable Vince James. Are there any questions, comments at this time for Ms. Byrd? Not hearing anything, we'll go ahead and proceed forward to the vote. Sherelle, can you assist us with the roll call vote, please?
Okay, Honorable Otto, so how do you vote?
I vote green.
Honorable Otto, so votes green. Honorable Eugene, so how do you vote? Honorable Eugene, so votes green. Honorable Vince James, how do you vote?
James votes green.
Honorable Vince James votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazzie is excused. Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton, you have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 2 not voting, which is including Honorable Madam Charles Newton not voting and Honorable Edmund Yazzie excused, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that. So with that, committee members, it looks like we will be having our Law and Order Committee meeting on October 25th at the Upper Fruitland Chapter House. We'll go ahead and we'll work with Lorraine in terms of having to make accommodations because I know some of you delegates will be driving in from a distance. I think Farmington is the closest place to stay to this chapter house. So we'll be working on that. I know we have from the speaker's office, we have Sherilyn Yazzie, Nikita Kirk. Can we, speaker staff at that time, we would like to request that we do have staff present during that time. I think that the information that we'll be providing should be posted on Facebook so that we can, as a committee, present to the chapter house on what the Law and Order Committee has completed in terms of updating Title 17. So your assistance would be appreciated during that time, Ms. Kirk and Ms. Yazzie.
Thank you, Delegate Newton, for all your help. I appreciate it. All of your Law and Order Committee also appreciate all of your help. Thank you. Yeah, you all have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Bird, and we look forward to seeing you on the 25th. Oh, I forgot one other question. Or we'll just go ahead and we'll email you just to get prepared. So thank you, Ms. Bird.
Yeah, definitely. Because I work with Captain Red Horse, so we can definitely get him in there. And if Chief Francisco wants to sit in too, that's not a problem. So that would be even better. So, okay, sounds good. I'll be hearing from you.
Thank you. Have a good day. So with that, committee members, we are now at the end of our agenda. We are at the close of the meeting. Before we adjourn, before a motion is made, is there any announcements that need to be made? Not hearing anything from my committee members, I would like to remind committee members that we are meeting every Wednesday at the Law and Order Committee building. We are working to update Title 17. So if you could join us, my LDA has sent out the Zoom information and the call-in number. Honorable Eugene So has joined us with the last few meetings, which we appreciate. If you cannot join us, please ask your LDAs to assist. We do need a lot of help in getting the amendments completed. So again, every Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. at the Law and Order Committee building. And then we also send out Zoom information via teleconference for this meeting as well. That's my one announcement. The second announcement, committee members, is today was a special Law and Order Committee meeting in lieu of the October 18th meeting. October 18th is the first day of fall council session. We meet for fall council session October 18th through the 22nd. It is the third week in October per the code. The last thing that I do want to remind committee members is next week at the Law and Order Committee meeting, the only thing that we will have on the agenda is the 110 chapter update on what is happening with the cross deputy program. So if you could please have your chapters on the call so that they can get information about what's happening with the cross deputy program. Division Director Jesse Delmar has been informed already to prepare a presentation to share with the committee and then also the chapter members or the chapter elected officials who will be on the call. And that is going to be taking place on October 11th. It starts at 10 o'clock a.m. So I just want to make that clear. And then again on October 25th, we do have a regular Law and Order Committee meeting that will be scheduled at Upper Fruitland, where we will be discussing updates to Title 17, and a presentation will be provided during that time. I will be working with speaker staff to make sure that this is broadcasted on Facebook so that the entire Navajo Nation, as well as the 110 chapters, are aware of the progress that is being made by Law and Order Committee to address the concerns regarding public safety and justice on the Navajo Nation. So with that, there is, I don't have any other updates to provide to the committee members. Oh, I do have an update. I am working with Carlisle Begay and also with the Chief of Staff for Senator Lujan, Senator Heinrich, and Representative Ledger Fernandez to schedule meetings with our senators and our representatives in Washington, D.C., in addition with the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Office of Justice Services, as well as Indian Health Services, and then also veterans, the Veterans Program regarding the Veterans Court. This is going to be a 1 week trip to Washington, D.C. We are scheduling, getting confirmation this week. The trip is proposed for the week of October 25th. More than likely, when if you are planning to attend and you are planning to be at the Upper Fruitland chapter on the 25th, we more than likely will need to fly out on the 25th to Washington, D.C. with meetings starting on the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. It'll be a 1 week advocacy trip that will be planned to discuss again public safety and justice, to discuss also the 105 L lease with BIA, to discuss Veterans Court, and then to also advocate for the infrastructure for public safety and justice. So we'll be sharing that information. Again, we are hoping that we get confirmation from the senators and the representatives. I'm working with Carlisle Begay on getting meetings set up. I'm working directly with the Chief of Staff for Heinrich, for Lujan, and for Teresa Ledger Fernandez, who are in New Mexico. Carlisle is assisting me with scheduling meetings with Senator Romney, Senator Kelly, Senator Sinema, Representative O'Halloran, BIA, OJS, Veterans Court, and also Deb Holland. as well. Rosalind So, we are trying to schedule a meeting, not directly with Rosalind Slow, but with the IHS directly there in Maryland regarding the medical examiner's position. So that, again, a 1-week trip, I think, is going to suffice with getting all of this information out there. So I am letting the committee members know. I was hoping to send out an email once we get confirmation as we're preparing for this trip to Washington, D.C. I'm also working with speaker's staff on preparing a booklet with information and statistics that are going to help with funding our public safety facility buildings and also getting our operations and maintenance cost addressed as well. So with that, committee members, again, we are looking at the last week in October as that being the trip out to DC. If you are interested and you are interested in attending the Upper Fruitland meeting, the closest airport is going to be Durango. And I think their last flight out of there for Washington, DC is at 4 or 5 that evening. So we may do a early meeting on the 25th if everything gets confirmed from Washington, DC. So with that, committee members, this is the announcements that I have at this time. If you have any questions or if you have any recommendations or comments regarding this trip to DC, just please email me and we can figure out, I guess, what is going on. And once we get confirmation, we'll be sending out that information to the committee members. So with that, committee members, are there any other announcements at this time? Not hearing anything. I'm going to ask at this time for a motion and a second to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Vice Chair.
Motion made by Honorable Otto So. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second made by Honorable Vince James. So with that, committee members, we're going to go ahead and proceed to a roll call vote. Sherelle, can you assist us with the roll call vote, please?
Okay, Honorable Otto So, how do you vote?
I vote green.
Honorable Otto So votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Vince James, how do you vote?
Delegate Team votes green.
Honorable Vince James votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazzie is excused. Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton, you have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 2 not voting, which is including Honorable Madam Chair Charles Newton not voting. And Honorable Edmund Yazzie excused, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that, Sherelle. So with that, committee members, it is now 12:35. We are adjourned. You guys be safe out there, and I'll be sharing information once the confirmation is set for the Washington, D.C. trip. Have a safe day.